Greetings, YouTube. Today I'm going to talk about the movie The Karate Kid, the one that was released this year in 2010. Yes, I know I'm a little late to the game, but my wife and I didn't get a chance to catch a showing until last Thursday night at the cheap theaters near us. The basic storyline of this is a departure from the original. In this film, a single mother is moving to China for a job and taking her son with her. The character's name is Dre Parker, and he is, of course, the Karate Kid himself. Upon arriving in China, he gets to meet some of the locals. Apparently, quite a few people in the building where he lives are immigrants as well, from there in China for different, business-related reasons. And most of the students go to the same school. So you have a certain instant continuity between where he lives and where he goes to school, and you get a real sense of placing the character in the community. You see, there's a lot of walking from place to place. You get the sense of a city designed around people. I really felt a sense of immersion in that level. I enjoyed that. Not that I'd be able to get from point A to point B on my own in that place, but I got the impression that the characters themselves had become familiar very quickly with the environment they were in, and I felt that really added a sense of authenticity to me. Being the main character in an action/drama, Dre doesn't fit in too well. He's a little awkward. He doesn't much want to be in China. He's there for his mother's job. He misses his friends and his old school and his neighborhood. And when you completely understandable, you're 12 and suddenly find yourself on a different continent. There's going to be a little bit of adjustment time, And he ends up finding himself confronting the local tough. And this bully literally cleans his clock. Dre has pretty much no chance whatsoever in harming this individual in a physical confrontation. And he ends up becoming protected by a local handyman, Mr. Han, played by Jackie Chan. And Mr. Han very reluctantly helps him. He pretty much doesn't want to be involved in this. He's only doing it out of a sense of guilt, a sense of responsibility for the people that live in his building, a sense of protecting the underdog. And in an effort to get the local tough to leave this boy alone, he goes to see their martial arts trainer, their kung fu teacher, and things don't go well. And while he does get them to stop abusing him physically, he does not succeed in getting his young charge completely out of trouble, because now he has to face them in the competition ring. And so there is the driving force for our film. Mr. Han trains young Dre. Dre goes on to take on the local tough, and you get to see his development as a person through the acquisition of his skills as a martial artist. I think that this film is significantly better than the original. In fact, I would say that other than the title of the film and a superficial resemblance to their structures, there is almost nothing similar between these two movies, and you can't really compare them. The original was a product of its time, and it was very cheesy, it was very cliched. I found this 2010 version to be much deeper, the acting better, the writing better, the martial arts much more realistic, much more of the philosophical angles behind what's going on. It's not quite as good as my favorite martial arts film, which is The Circle of Iron, which really delves into the philosophical ideals and constructs behind martial arts to a level I've never seen in another martial arts film. But this film, Karate Kid, 2010 version, does a much better job than most martial art films do. And one of the things I really enjoyed about this is that you see how reluctant Mr. Han is to teach him. He really doesn't want to get involved. And you find out later why he doesn't want to get involved with this boy's life. And it fits in and it works with the storyline very well. I like the way Jackie Chan carried himself. I mean, the physical means that he moved through each scene. He moved in a rolling gait, like a bear, with his arms and his hands at his side in a very loose manner. It was very centered. You could see the center of his gravity right down there in his groin as he moved. And the visual connection with the fact that he is centered in the earth, and his chi is channeled through him into the earth itself, really made the character feel real for me. So I applaud Jackie Chan's execution with this. He did not move the way he has moved in many other films, and I think that was important. Jaden Smith did a wonderful job as the Karate Kid, as Trey Parker. My wife commented that she said, won't it be great when he has his own style? Because yes, he very much does play his father. And that isn't necessarily a bad thing, because his father is a charismatic guy. His father is up there on the screen, and he really brings it right there, you know, out to the audience. And that's what Trey Parker did in this movie. Yes, Jaden Smith is not his own man yet, but he's a kid. Give him time. I believed that every single thing he did in this movie he could physically do in the real world. He showed a level of athletic prowess that was completely lacking in the original film. And that level of, again, of depth, of texture, really was important to me. Now, there were flaws in this movie. It was a little long. It probably could have used 10, maybe 15 minutes of editing just to tighten things up a little. That would have been cool. The title is one of the most absolutely pointless and incorrect titles of a film I've ever heard. Yes, in the film, one of the characters does derisively comment that Trey Parker is the Karate Kid because of his physical stance. But the film shouldn't be called The Karate Kid. The karate is a Japanese martial arts style. It has nothing to do with Chinese kung fu. This entire film takes place in China. So, yes, I know why they used that title, to make it a connection to the original film. I get it. There's even a reference in the movie. I just mentioned it, but I still think it was completely incorrectly named. Another thing is if Trey Parker's mother is so skilled that she is offered a job in China, why couldn't she find a job in the United States? Why did she have to haul her entire life and her child, pull him completely out of the culture and the society he was raised in, and take him across the planet into a new country? If her skill set is so good for, that important, she could find a job in California or in the South. There are a number of different manufacturing facilities and industrial complexes around America. In New England, you know what I mean? I just found that rather incredulous. It was jarring for me. I didn't see anything in this film that would let me believe that this woman had the set of skills that were so unique they needed to go to China. So I had to kind of throw that away and just ignore it and concentrate on Jaden Smith's portrayal of Trey Parker as trying to assimilate into a completely alien environment. He gets a love interest. There actually is a very short dance sequence and like an arcade that kind of hints at the fact that they are budding adolescent, that there is a sexual vibe there between them on some level, even though there is nothing in the film that there's nothing inappropriate at all. And I thought it was very sweet, kind of made me smile. And it's like, you're in that stage, man. This is where it starts to happen. And you kind of see it in his face. You're like, wow, this person's physical. If there was a connection there, and it made me smile. And of course, getting to see both of them dance in really different styles was also kind of cute. So I enjoyed this film. I'm glad I saw it. I Didn't get a chance to see it when it first run theaters because of money issues. And so I was able to see it at the cheap theaters. I'm glad I did. I will definitely be getting a copy of this on DVD if I can, once they release one with a commentary track, because I love my commentary tracks. So if you haven't seen this and you enjoy martial arts films, and especially Jackie Chan, I would recommend this. If you like the first film, I still would recommend this. It's a completely different movie. There is almost no connection. I think it's superior to the original, though the original still has a place in cinematic history. But this is just a much better film.